Good afternoon. As I promised some weeks ago, I'm starting to talk about Formula One now and car racing in general. I apologize for being absent in the last few days, weeks, but I was traveling intensively and therefore I missed some appointments, let's say. Okay, let's go back to F1. I started to follow F1 when I was a kid, basically. Even if it was difficult to see that on TV, not nowadays. I remember my first race that I saw live. I was in Monaco, I was 10 years old, and unfortunately was the weekend, the Sunday, the race, when Lorenzo Bandini got killed in Monaco. And I remember the race at that time was 100 laps and was brutal actually. Obviously the safety measures were different than now, and luckily there were no too many safety cars because now it's sort of boring, I would say, with those safety cars. Anyway, that's only my opinion, obviously, but many things has been done for the safety of the drivers, of the people in general. I saw so many super drivers like Jim Clark, Jack Stewart, Graham Hill, Dennis Hulme, John Surtees, Emerson Fittipaldi, Mario Andretti, Niki Lauda, Gilles Villeneuve, and I knew and I met all of them except Jim Clark. I never saw him and I never met him. But all the others I met, and some of them I talked with a couple of them. I'm still having a relationship, and sometimes we talk still now. But the best of all time for me has been Ayrton Senna, and I will tell you the story about my relationship with Ayrton. I was working at New York at the time in a completely different environment than racing, and I got a call from one of my clients who was a big executive in a tobacco company, and he asked me if I wanted to move back to Europe and follow a Formula One team sponsored by one of their brands. That brand was Camel, and Camel was going to sponsor Lotus the following year with the engine Honda, and a new interesting driver called Ayrton Senna from Brazil. And basically I left my job in New York City and I moved to Geneva, where I started to follow Ayrton and Lotus, because he was already in Lotus but sponsored by John Player Special. If you remember the black Lotus at the time with Colin Chapman at the helm. But Camel signed a deal to be the title sponsor of Lotus that year, and Ayrton has been hired. Next podcast I will talk about the years with Ayrton, and therefore don't miss the new appointments that we are going to have.